What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Make the Right Play. As always, we got the coach on my left here. We got your buoy behind the camera, making everything work for us, making everything sound great, as usual. And boy, do we have some episode for you. I mean, Coach, he has risen. It's Easter. We're in the Easter season. We're out of Lent. We can eat. We can drink alcohol. We can eat all the sweets and dog shit food that you can get. Yeah. Even though, recently RFK got rid of artificial food dyes. So Skittles is going out of business. Cheetos is going out of business. So all you Cheeto eating fucks, your ass is out. It's over for you. I mean, we got a wild next couple weeks ahead of us, but another wild week here. Coach, how you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Happy resurrection to the Lord, eternal life.
That's right, eternal life, eternal life. We're here, Coach. We're into the Easter season.
I have to say, it was such a happy Easter.
It really was. I agree with you.
There's nothing more than I enjoy than having the whole family together.
Right.
And it's even better when everybody's getting along.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree with that 100%.
Everybody was together. Everybody was getting along. We spent the whole weekend preparing food and just eating good food on Easter Sunday and drinking and just being together. And especially after the whole FSU situation, I really felt especially grateful.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you. I mean, that whole FSU situation, and we're going to get to it, and hopefully we could bring a live guest on to talk about it.
Yes.
So, we're gonna get to that for absolutely. We got a lot to unpack there. We have a lot to unpack across the board, but I mean, it really was. I have to agree with you. This Easter in particular, it was really nice. I mean, everybody was in a good mood. We were all happy hanging out with each other.
Yeah.
I mean, besides me and all the rest of the Devil fans across the country, really disappointed. I mean, I wish we gave our playoff spot away to somebody else who actually deserves it because we're terrible. But yeah, I mean, I think Easter Sunday was fantastic and I really enjoyed it. We had great food. That chicken parm that you made was unbelievable.
Yeah.
That sauce. Oh,
I felt it
God.
though. The next day I could barely move.
Listen, it's so worth it though. It's worth every calorie, every, fat.
You booby, do me a favor, just put the link in the
Yeah, the link to join the show. Yeah, we got to get the link to join the show. Guys, we're going to be posting the link.
Cordell,
you'll see it in your Facebook.
You?
You'll see it in
Happy
YouTube.
Easter.
Make sure you guys are clicking that link. Let's join the show. If you guys want to chat, if you guys want to tell us about how great your Easter was, want to talk about something, make sure you guys are hitting that link to chat and talk with us. But yeah, I mean, it was a great holiday, I thought.
Well, you know what it is that I felt especially grateful.
Yeah.
Because on Thursday, Presley called me. It's usually a very busy day for him.
Yep.
So he called me and he was like, "Oh, Mom, I just took one of my big finals. I know I did a great job. I was studying all night." And he's like, "And me and my friends, we're going to celebrate by going to the Black Dog Cafe or something like that."
Right.
And I'm like, "Oh, that sounds really good. Do you need money?"
Yeah, definitely. That's what it is. Oh, we got a caller? Is this our live caller?
Yes,
Florida State
let's
caller?
go. It's Presley.
All right, yeah, so let's bring him on. So we got a live guest, a Florida State student, Presley Villa. Shout out Presley Villa, who's a current student at Florida State University, and we're bringing him on to talk about, the horrible events that's going on. Prez, what's going on? Welcome to the show.
Hi, Presley. How are you?
Hi, can you hear me? I'm
Yes,
good.
I
Yes,
hear
we can
you.
hear you.
Hold on, I'm going to put on the
Put the headphones on so you can really hear him.
Oh,
Coach, you
hold
can't
on,
put
hold
on
on.
you can't put the headphones on the microphone.
Wait, hold on. I never used the headphones. Hold on.
Hold on, disaster on the show
Sorry.
here. Disaster on the live show.
Okay.
Okay, can you hear him? Prez, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Okay, Ma, can you hear him?
Yes, I hear him perfectly. I'm going to put it down here. It's very loud for me. I don't know. I don't like the headphones.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right,
I'm
so now she doesn't need the
fine.
headphones, so we're going to go no headphones.
I get it.
All right, so Prez, so you have a unique experience with this because you were students with Phoenix, right? Phoenix is the shooter who shot up Florida State, and you were a classmate of his?
Yes, he was in my political science research class that was supposed to meet at 3:05 on the Thursday of the shooting. We met every Tuesday, Thursday.
Oh wow, okay. So did you ever talk to him? Was he chatting in class, or did you not really have any experience with him?
I thankfully never talked to him. I did notice some weird shirts he would wear, and a lot of people he would wear some shirts that had sexual sayings on it. And some people would talk about it, but no real interaction with him, thankfully.
Some sexual sayings on the shirt, huh? The guy was a little bit of a freak.
Yeah, it was weird, some of the shirts he would wear.
It was a little weird. So, Prez, kind of, walk us through your day a little bit of what was going on that day. Because, Mom was briefly talking about it. You decided to go to Black Dog.
Yeah, so I had my exam at 8 a.m. and I felt really good about it. So I was like, my 11:35 was optional that day. So I decided to skip my 11:35 for like the first
It was
time
not
or the
optional.
second time all semester. And then I went to Black Dog Cafe to work on the essay before coming home for Easter instead of going to campus where I would have been like either at the
At the
union or
shooting.
walking to class. Yeah.
Because he's part of the SIP club. So
There
he
you go.
likes to go to Panera Bread and get his free drink.
Yes.
Yes,
I
he's a
always get my
Panera.
free drinks,
Which is
especially
in the
What'd you
on
get at
student
Tuesday and
Panera?
union. It's
Thursday.
not free when the parents pay for it, but it's free for him.
It's free for him. Yes, that's
We get our
perfect.
savings. I can guarantee that.
Yes, we get our
You get your savings from the SIP club. So now you go to Black Dog, and so what kind of transpired? Like, were you going to go back to campus, or were you just planning on going home for the
Um,
day? Like, what was like
I
kind of
was
the
gonna go
plan
back.
there?
I was gonna go back for my 305, and I actually made an appointment at the Health and Wellness Center to check out what I think is now allergies, but like to check out my sinuses. And so we were on the way driving back home from Black Dog when all of a sudden there was like 10 cop cars that like went off and were driving by us.
Mm-hmm.
So and then that's when we got the alert, the FSU alert that there was an active shooter on campus. So the first
Wow.
thing that I did was check Autumn's location on Life 360, make and check my friends' locations, make sure they were like not around the area. Then I texted mom and dad to let them know that I was safe off campus. And then yeah,
You know, Presley, I really feel like Cordell said God blocked it. And I really feel that way because I was at Mass and I'm like, Presley calling me that morning, telling me that you did well on your test, and then saying that you were going to go out to breakfast and go off campus.
Yeah.
Like, I just
yeah,
really feel like we were blessed without even knowing it beforehand. So I was at church and I was so grateful. And I remember just thinking, like, thank you so much, Lord. Thank you so much that my son was okay, that he didn't get shot at today. I was happy the next day when everybody had to go back and get
yeah,
their bags because everybody was running for their lives. So they said, oh, you can show up and pick up your bags at this time. And they had all the multiple locations. And I'm thinking, how tough is that for the kids to have to go back and retrieve their stuff and see everybody that was involved with this mayhem and, like just. So I really feel so blessed. And I was so happy when you came home. So it just feels like I think that's what made Easter even more special,
Yeah.
was knowing
yeah.
that we averted that disaster.
I 100% agree. I feel like it was complete like divine intervention that it was the one day I wasn't at the union getting my Panera Sip Club at that time. And then also that like I just felt so blessed coming home, being able to see all the people that I love so much. And then even coming back to campus, having all the memorials around campus by the
Yeah.
union, the walkway, the unconquered statue, it really just makes
Yep.
you appreciate your loved ones, your community, your friends.
And that's what I was going to
And
ask. That
also,
was my next question. Was how? What are the kind of the vibes on campus now? I mean, you've had such a tragic event, and everybody's going back. You're going into finals week, right? The school semester's wrapping up. You have kids graduating in 2-3 weeks. Like, what's kind
Yeah.
of the aura on campus? What's kind of the vibe? I know you guys had something at the baseball stadium last night. What's kind of going on?
yeah, so the vibe on campus overall is just very depressing. Everyone's honestly just trying to get through the semester. The administration has done an outstanding job making sure that no students are rushed into things that they're not ready for. They have a bunch of police officers around campus, like trying to make people feel more safe. So far for classes, they give everyone three options, which you could either take the grade you're at currently for that class, or you can do extra work to boost your grade, or you can take an incomplete grade. If you're not mentally available to do the work right now, you can take an incomplete now and complete the work at a later time when you're
Mhm.
more like mentally stable.
Oh wow! All right. Well, that's
So
pretty nice. That's pretty good.
Well, I'm happy
yeah,
that you're doing okay. But Presley, I
me
find it a
too.
little upsetting that there really haven't been any updates since last Thursday. Like we know that he left 2 dead. There's 6 people injured. And we haven't heard anything about the attacker since then. Like it's just been like kind of radio silence. At least on this end, like I was looking for some
Yeah.
updates and I can't find anything.
The only things I've heard is that thankfully the 6 that were injured are making a full recovery. in the
Thank
hospital, that
goodness.
they're
Okay.
going to be
Yep.
completely recovered. And then I also have heard just that the shooter is gonna like be alive, but
Hmm.
I really haven't heard anything. I've heard that he was like in very bad condition, so I believe he's probably still at the hospital, but we also haven't really heard any updates.
I mean, there's still no motive. Like, they still haven't said what motivated him to do something so deranged.
Yeah, and my professor even spoke saying that he was in office hours the week before, like asking questions, like very like normal. Like he said he didn't suspect anything off with the students. So I do feel like it's a little strange that he seemed completely fine in office hours and then like the next week was like, let me shoot up the campus.
Right. And you had class with him Tuesday, right? And you didn't notice any like kind of weird signs or something that just
Yeah,
didn't seem
there was
anything out of the
nothing
ordinary.
weird about him. No, nothing
Interesting.
weird Tuesday.
Yeah, that is really weird that there hasn't been any updates to it. Now,
Yeah, I mean, I looked for them. I mean,
yeah.
I'm going to continue to looking for updates, on this developing story, but
right.
I don't know. It was a huge shocker. But I'm just happy that everything
Yeah.
worked out,
Yeah, absolutely. And Prez is safe, and
Me too.
Prez's friends are safe. It's good. Everybody. It's just it's unfortunate, but I think the campus, from what I've seen, is really starting to rally together, and
Yeah.
it's been good.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, the campus has really come together. Florida State Police and Tallahassee Police and FBI were amazing with the whole thing, and the administration has done
Yeah.
very well in my eyes. So I think it's been sort of like good seeing the community at least come together.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, go Knowles.
Well, thank you so much,
Yes,
Presley,
go
for coming on
Noles.
and giving us your
Of
personal.
course.
Did you
All
just
right,
chop?
yes.
Did he just chop on the air?
Yes, I
If
did.
anybody doesn't know, Presley's a marching chief.
Yes, the marching
He's
chief.
in
Yeah.
Screech. He's a trumpet player.
All right, he's in Sem Sound, so
Yeah.
he's very active. He's an active member in the community, an active member at Florida State. So, it was nice to have such an active member come on the show and kind of recant and give us his opinion. So we appreciate it, Press. Thank you for
Alright.
coming on.
Thank you guys for having me. Have a good rest of the show. I'll be watching.
Thank you so much, honey.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. All right. So yeah, I mean, it was a very scary situation. It's tough. I can only imagine what those kids are kind of going through, especially the seniors that are graduating. And it's like your last memory of the school. Oh, what do you remember the most about your 4 years? Well,
I mean, not to
about
laugh,
2
it's
weeks.
not funny.
2 weeks before, I actually got shot at. So it's like
Yeah, I mean,
it's tough. It's a tough look for sure. It's a tough feeling.
it was. I'm just happy that,
Yeah.
I mean, not to sound bad, but I'm happy that none of the students got killed. I know that there were 2 people who got killed, but they were both adults. One worked in the student union,
Yep.
like he was an Aramac employee. The other one, Fat Gordo's, one of my favorite restaurants.
I
only
know.
a block away from Presley's house.
That's
I
right.
mean,
It's a great spot. It's a
you
great
know?
spot. Great drinks. If you're looking for somewhere to get banged up, that's where you got to go.
Well,
But
I'll tell you what was another huge shocker.
what was that?
Pope Francis dying the day after Easter.
Oh, I mean, how much of a shocker do you think it really
Well,
was?
when I woke up and they were like, "Oh, I'm sure you've heard by now, Pope Francis passed away," I was like, "No, I just woke up." Like,
What do you mean? You're heard by now? Yeah, no, that was a really interesting story. That he
Yeah.
just kind of died almost. It was, well, I wouldn't say it was out of nowhere, but it really was out of nowhere.
It
Like he was,
was.
everybody was expecting him to kind of make a full recovery. He was out of the hospital, and then he meets JD
He met
Vance,
JD Vance.
Vice President Vance.
Why don't we show video
And
of
just
that?
almost dies. Like, this is unbelievable. Let's show clip 7 here, where just hours before the death of Pope Francis.
Feeling great, but it's good to see you in better health. Thank you.
Pray for you every day.
Uh-oh, that handshake.
That handshake right there. You know what that is? That's
touch-
the interview. That's the interview right there when he's out shaking his hand
Pope
and then he
Fran-
kills him
he's
off.
like, "Oh, I gotta shake your hand."
Right, I got to shake your hand.
That's terrible.
Father.
I shouldn't be making
Well,
a joke about Pope Francis.
that's what was going on. I mean, who knows what happened? But yeah, so he just dies that morning. And it was like you said, it was kind of a shock because he was making a recovery. I mean, he didn't look great. Yeah, I mean, he did. He kind of looked like a shadow of himself. He didn't look very good, but I mean, he apparently to everybody was making a full recovery. So it is interesting that he just all of a sudden kind of dies off.
And everybody's going to have a comment on who should be the new pope.
Right.
Even people who aren't Catholics are going to be putting in their 2 cents onto who should be the new pope.
Yeah.
Because no matter what people say, the Catholic Church is very influential. You know?
I would agree with that. Yeah.
And today, I have to say, I'm driving back. I had to go get some blood work done again because I got blood work yesterday for my pre-op. I'm going to have an operation in 2 weeks.
What are you getting done, Coach?
I have to get a hip replacement. I have a torn tendon in my rotator cuff of my thigh. I have,
So you're going back. You're going back on the IL.
So of course, like it's been a tough year for me. So I've been a little bit depressed about it, but I have a lot to be grateful for. So I'm not going to just think about my health. But I stop at the light and I see that COEXIST bumper sticker. Everybody knows that bumper sticker that says the COEXIST with like the multiple religions.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it while I'm sitting at the red light. And I look at the driver, and of course the driver looks like the typical liberal woman with like that little witchy vibe. You know what I'm talking about.
God.
Like that
super skinny?
No, like just,
really tight face, a couple wrinkles here and there.
I couldn't see. She
wearing
was
a black
in front
hat,
of me.
large nose, green. Is that what we're looking at?
I mean, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, what does this really mean, COEXIST?
Right. What does it mean, Coach?
What does it mean, COEXIST? And then I'm like thinking about it more, and I'm like, you can't even have people coexist on a political level.
Right.
Like, it's not that deep. When you think about it, politics really shouldn't be that deep, Like with the MAGA and the liberals really fighting with each other. But it's like, for coexist for religions, and some of those religions are not good religions. Like the devil worshippers, that's a religion.
Hold on, Coach.
Well, that is a religion,
Let's talk
right?
about.
Like they'll say, "Oh, that's my religion."
Why don't you elaborate on the not so good religions? Who's
I just said like the devil worshippers. Like they'll be like, "I have a freedom. I have freedom of religion. I could put up my statue of Satan or whatever the hell they call it." That's true. Like those, and I'm like, I don't know. I just was thinking, like, we can't even get Democrats and Republicans to get along, but we have like witches who'll be driving around with a COEXIST bumper sticker. And I don't know. I was just thinking about that. Like, does anybody? What do you guys think? Like in the chat, like about when you see a COEXIST bumper sticker. Like, what do you think when you see that?
Well, they're probably like, "Oh yeah, that's nice, and we can coexist." I mean, listen, the people that have the COEXIST bumper stickers are the first people to not want to coexist. They're the first people. I mean, they're the ones that are like, "Yeah, we got to coexist, love each other, love your differences." And then it's like, "Yeah, we're different. You're a raging communist who voted for Kamala Harris, and I'm a conservative Republican. And I voted for Trump." What? Nazi? Like that's them. Like they're the first person. They'll be like, "We love your neighbor," and then it's like, "Yeah, like Trump and what? No, like that's who drives around with the COEXIST.
Well, I really feel like Democrats
that's who it is.
Have replaced religion with politics. That's why they get so crazy about it.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
They should put
a lot of them did.
Or a donkey in the COEXIST thing. Because like their religion is truly politics, honestly. But you know what?
They should put a donkey.
I was watching Trump on Easter, and I'm like, it's so nice to finally have a president mention the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. Wow. Why don't we play that clip? Because I know it made me feel really happy to hear that.
All right, yeah. Let's post. Let's show that clip. Let's go clip 6.
Is special. Easter is special.
Look at the bunny.
And it's one of our favorite days. It's one of our favorite periods of time. We're honoring Jesus Christ, and we're going to honor Jesus Christ very powerfully throughout our lives, all throughout our lives, not just now, all throughout our lives. We're bringing religion back in America. We're bringing a lot of things back, but religion is coming back to America. That's why you see the kind of numbers that you're seeing, the spirit and the kind of numbers that you're seeing. So.
And you know what? I feel like if we really did bring religion back,
right?
And if people, not the bad religions,
not the bad ones,
like
they don't want them.
The religions where, like, where Jesus says the greatest of these is love. And I think if we really start to truly love our neighbor again, we could become a great nation again. Because we would start looking out for each other more and stop fighting with each other so much. And you know what? You don't have to agree on everything, but if you really love the person and you want the people to be successful and have a happy life and have a good life, and you see your neighbor suffering, you help them out. Whether or not they're Republican or Democrat, or, you see people in the street, "Good morning, how are you?" Who cares if you're wearing a MAGA hat? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, that's your brother, that's your sister. Like,
Yeah.
I really feel that would make America great again if we all started turning our hearts and minds over to
hearts and minds.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. I mean, listen, you know where you see a lot of hearts and minds, you know, really turning over to be very friendly is the college campuses.
Oh yeah, with the FSU shooting that just happened.
You know, they're very friendly there to people with different mindsets. I mean, you have people keying cars, you have people, you know, getting beat up in cafeteria rooms for having different. I mean, I have, you know, people who recant to me and tell me about as Gabe is snapping in the corner over there, excited. I have people, you know, talk to me about what it's like to be in the Northeast and have a, you know, opinion of not so favorable opinion with Democrats. And people are getting assaulted, just beat up, destroyed.
You know why? Because they're a political cult.
Yeah.
They're not like, I don't think those people ever go to church. I don't think they ever pray. I don't think they ever get on their knees and thank God for anything. I think they feel like they're entitled to everything.
Yeah.
And they've become this political cult that's like really demonic at this point.
Right.
You know, and instead of just seeing somebody and being like, you know what, that's a human being, whether or not I agree with them, that's a fellow human being, and I have to honor that person just for their humanity and be kind to them. It's like they feel like they can just get in your face and truly bully you.
Right. And beat the shit out of you.
We have to show that clip about that young man like just traveling on a college campus.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Let's show what's going on here in Boston. Let's show clip 8 here.
Nazi f***ing punk.
What are you gonna do?
Go f*** yourself. You on my f***ing campus with that f***ing hat on?
Actually,
get the f*** out of here.
It's actually a public
Get
street.
the f*** out of here. I don't care, you f***ing Nazi.
This is a
Get
public
the f***
street.
off my campus.
What's
I'm
your
gonna
name?
walk you all the way to this f***ing corner, you punk. You f***ing understand
Go
me?
ahead. Who are you?
You f***ing understand me? It doesn't
I
f***ing
thought
matter.
that was you at first, Carlos.
You f***ing Nazi punk.
Could be.
F***ing camera on my fucking face.
Or what? Or
Get
what?
this f***ing camera on my face.
Or what?
Take your f***ing fascist
Your
hat off.
union like
Looks
that?
like he has a
Would
wedding,
your union
though.
like that?
You see this?
I know every union
see
guy
this?
in this town.
Get the f*** out of here. You think
I
Trump
know.
f***ing supports unions, you
I know
Actually
every
does support
union
unions.
leader.
on your f***ing Snapchat? What are you, 35, you f***ing sucker?
I'm
Take
35.
your
Oh my
f***ing hat off.
goodness.
You understand me?
I mean, and it just went on and on, just berating.
I mean, how could you just go up to somebody just because they have on a hat that says 47 and be like, you cocksucker, you Nazi? Like, do people ever learn history and know what a Nazi really was? A Nazi wasn't
they
somebody
don't.
just wearing a hat. A Nazi was like somebody who would kill you.
They have no idea. Let me tell you something right now. Hold on 1 second. The chat's
What?
getting after me here. I see you, Bill Benny. I see you. I don't want to hear any shit coming from the guy who didn't even make the playoffs, right? That team is so old and shit. The Pittsburgh Penguins, you're coming at me
gosh.
trying to talk shit. Get this guy. Let me tell you something right now. The tide is turning. Your boys Crosby and Malkin, their asses are out the door. So enough is enough. Let's settle down over there. There's Devil fans across this nation. I've seen them. I know what it's like. I've been to games in Tampa. I've seen the Devil fans. We're here. Enough is enough with that crap. All right, but anyway, going back to what you were saying.
I have to say, it is pretty funny that they're still playing hockey, though. Like, you were in elementary school when Crosby and Malkin were...
They came in 2005.
Yeah, that was Presley. That was
2005.
Presley.
Presley's
was born
birth
in
year.
2005. And
They
now
came
he's
in
at
05.
FSU.
05, and they're still kicking. Old as shit,
Well,
the
God
Penguins.
bless them.
Bad team.
God bless them.
Bad team. But anyway, yeah, no, I mean, imagine, like, you're just walking down the street and you're just getting completely attacked and berated. Somebody in your face, take your hat off, take your hat off. Like, it's banana
But
land.
what are their principles driving their beliefs?
Yeah.
Like, what are your core values? What are your principles that makes you feel so freely to just go and attack a perfect stranger that you have no idea?
Just
like,
walking
what if
down the
that
road.
guy, like, let me tell you something. If you really thought you were approaching a Nazi, you would be shitting your pants. Because that person would be turning around and maybe killing you.
Right, just gutting you right in the street and keep walking.
Like a real true Nazi would just kill you.
Right.
So, like, what are the core values or your principles that are driving you that you just have to go and attack a perfect stranger right in the street? Are you smoking pot?
What is going on? Just
I thought I
calling
smelled
on the
marijuana for a
side on the
minute.
side of the podcast. Just are you getting high over there? You getting high? Listen, it's legal in the state of Florida. Getting high, but I mean, it's just throwing it out there. Now, but yeah, I mean, what kind of makes you? And what drives me nuts too, and we talk about this all the time, and here we are again. We're saying the same thing over and over again. The liberal will accuse you exactly what they do, right? They're like, oh, Republicans are so nasty. Republicans are this, Republicans are that. And then here's yet another example. We have videos of them keying cars. We have videos of them destroying public property. We have videos of them attacking people on the street. It's like, guys, like, you know, what kind of morals do you have as a human being? Like, why can't you just walk past the person? Just walk past them.
I know.
Just walk right by them. You're in Boston, for Christ's sake. It's a big city.
Exactly.
You just walk right by the dude. Who gives a fuck?
Well, I mean,
they're attacking him.
We have somebody in our chat saying that they do it in Connecticut and that they'll beat you up for wearing a hat.
Yeah, that's right.
That they will beat you up for wearing a hat like that on campus.
Yeah, they'll kick your ass.
Let's show the video of Trump Tower today being defaced, because I can't believe how people just feel that they have a right to destroy somebody else's property.
It's unbelievable.
Really,
yeah, let's go clip one here. Let's show this. It's disgusting.
What a fucking piece of shit, bro.
Look at him.
What a pussy.
Oh, what is that? Some kind of satanic symbol? I don't even know what that is. What is that?
I didn't even see what it
It's a
read.
game over with some kind of satanic symbol on it, if you want to ask my opinion. I mean, and then these guys, now they have to come over and arrest him.
Look at this jerk off, too, in the white, this old fuck. He's over there, and he's like, oh, you know, what are you doing? Why are you cuffing him? Why are you cuffing him? He only just walked into private property and spray painted all over the wall. Why are you cuffing him for that? Why are you cuffing him for that? Because he's a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Spray painting all over the wall. That's why. Because you can't do that. There's still laws in this country. You can't just walk into somebody's private property and spray paint shit all over it. You can't do that.
Just like the normal people, executives going over to a Tesla and keying the car. And then the cop goes, did you key the car? No, I didn't key the car. I have you on video. Okay, I keyed the car.
Yeah.
I mean, these people are insane, but it's like they look normal.
Right.
It's like they look normal, but what are they accomplishing?
They're
I don't
not
get
accomplishing
it. What
a
are
thing.
they accomplishing?
They're not accomplishing a thing. What do you think? I mean, AOC. You think AOC and Bernie felt very accomplished today, driving to their Fight the Oligarchy in a $15 million plane?
Yeah, well, it's $15,000 an hour.
$15,000 an hour, yeah.
$15,000 an hour.
Cross-country flight.
But, you know, they're going to stop the oligarchs. They're living like oligarchs.
Mm-hmm.
They're living like oligarchs. And you know what? It was the Democrat Party who invented the oligarchs. Don't kid yourself.
That's right.
But where is the love?
Where's the love?
I mean, and do you really think that this bullying is going to help you accomplish anything? All it's doing is turning people off.
Yeah.
It's really turning people off. Like, people aren't looking at them and saying, oh, that's great. That guy who just defaced property. What a hero.
Right. Nobody's being like, oh my God, yes. Except for maybe Gabe, of course.
No. And you know what's so annoying? It's that they always act like they have the moral high ground, you know? They act like, oh, well, I'm a Democrat, so I automatically have the moral high ground, you know? Because I advocate for MS-13 gang members. That's why I'm so much better than you. You know what I mean? I'll fly to El Salvador, and I'll go there, and I'll help you because, you know, I really care about people. Oh, they human traffic, they rape people, they sell fentanyl, that kill hundreds of thousands of people in 1 year. Oh, but who cares? Who cares about that? I'm really so much better than you. And I've had it.
Yeah.
I just think that it's so disgusting. I mean, did you see that Democrat congresswoman who went to El Salvador to rescue Vilmar?
Yeah, one of many that went down there. It's really, it's unbelievable. Let's show this. Let's show this lady. Talk about a witch. Let's show clip 2 here.
Congresswoman Maxine Dexter here, coming to you from El Salvador. I flew here last night with 3 of my colleagues to demand that Kilmar Abrego Garcia be released. He is being held in violation of a Supreme Court order expressly telling the Trump administration to effectuate and facilitate his coming home. That is being ignored. This is not just a threat to all people in the United States
we have to
who could be illegally abducted, detained, and transported internationally against their will. But it is a fact that our president does not recognize the branches of government and the balances of power. This is what we all have been calling a constitutional crisis, yet it is more severe than anything we've seen. We cannot stay silent. We must stay loud. I am here because I refuse to wait for something to happen. We are here to release Kilmar Abrego Garcia.
Please stay there.
Yeah.
Please stay there. I beg you, stay there. You know, let every Democrat go and fly to El Salvador and stay there.
I mean, you know, talk about white privilege. You're going to go down to Latin America, travel to El Salvador in a foreign country, and you are going to dictate to the El Salvadorian government that you are going to release somebody who's not an American citizen, who's an El Salvadorian citizen. He's an American. He's El Salvadorian. You're going to dictate to the El Salvadorian government, you're going to release this man, and he's coming home with me on my private jet, that taxpayer-funded jet. He's going to come right back with me, right? Like, who do you think you are that you're going to dictate that?
Well, they're the Democrat Party.
They're the Democrat Party.
They care so much about the laws. They didn't care when everybody was breaking the law coming in the country illegally.
Right.
That was fine. But now all of a sudden, they care about the law so much.
Yeah.
So let's see the video with Chris Van Hollen, the senator.
Right.
And let's see who paid for his trip to El Salvador.
All right, let's show clip 13. Or clip 3. Clip 3. Sorry.
Who did pay for this trip?
This was an officially cleared congressional trip, cleared on a bipartisan basis. Yes, like every other trip.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, because we don't pay for
Taxpayer
anything.
money.
Put your money where your mouth is and pay for your own trip to El Salvador if you need to go help this MS-13 gang member.
God knows you got the money. Right.
But you know what really upset me? And we brought it up last week. What about that woman who was killed, that mother of 5?
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Did he reach out to her family?
No.
Did he talk to her? Did he talk to the mom? Did he say, listen, I want to make the community safe for your grandchildren to grow up here now that their mother was murdered? Why don't we listen to the mother?
Okay.
Tell her story.
Absolutely.
Rachel Morin.
Let's show clip 4 here.
Have a senator from Maryland who didn't even acknowledge or barely acknowledged my daughter and the brutal death that she endured, leaving her 5 children without a mother and now a grandbaby without a grandmother, so that he can use my taxpayer money to fly to El Salvador to bring back someone that's not even an American citizen. Why does that person have more right than I do, or my daughter, or my grandchildren? I don't understand this.
What are your thoughts on that?
It's because we care so much about the process.
That's
it's
right.
because they care about the process so much. Do they care about those kids growing up without a mother?
Nope.
Like, you would think that would make them lose sleep at night.
Right.
Do they care about him coming into the country illegally? Do they care about him being stopped for human trafficking? They literally stopped him in 2022
right.
and human trafficking somebody, but they don't want to talk about that.
Yeah.
So then the mother is literally pleading with the press to cover her story. Let's play that clip. Do we have that one?
Yeah, let's do clip 5.
Please tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
Yeah.
Tell how violent it really is. This is about protecting our children. It's more than just politics or votes or just anything. It's about national security, protecting Americans, protecting our children. Thank you. Thank you for listening.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's about protecting Americans. This isn't the first person who was out jogging who got killed by an illegal, by the way.
No, it's not. It's not at all.
But it's like then Laura Ingrams asked Democrat Congresswoman Yasmin Asari about Rachel Morin. And do you know what the Congresswoman told her?
What's that?
She goes, you bringing up that woman is a distraction. A distraction.
A distraction.
Yeah, because it's stopping you from just trashing Trump, right? Because all you want to do is talk about process, but you don't want to talk about why he's so desperately trying to get illegals out of the country. Because they're dangerous. Okay? They're dangerous.
There we go.
Over 100,000 people died of a fentanyl overdose in 2023. They're dangerous. They rape people. They kill people. Over 300,000 little children went and disappeared in this country. Wake up. But they don't want to talk about the danger that the illegals are causing. No, they just want to talk about the process for one person when 12 million illegals are in this country. And I'm sick of it. You know? But no, she has to, stick to her due process script. Please don't distract me. Don't distract me with the facts and how dangerous the illegals are and why Trump is trying to get rid of them. I need to stick to my due process script. I'm sorry, but I'm very passionate about it, and it's upsetting me. They're not American citizens.
What due process are you talking about?
Well, that's what they're complaining about, that the Supreme Court, the guy wasn't given his due process. And the Supreme Court ruled that Trump needed to facilitate him coming back, and that's the process. That's what they're talking about.
I mean, listen, how many times I got to tell you, when you're an illegal immigrant, the big word illegal is right in front of it.
I agree with you.
It's a huge word, so you can't miss it. It's right there.
Listen, Carlos, it's like a robotic reaction. All their talking points, it's like they're all robots. And it's like, oh, so we have Americans who don't have a place to live. We have Americans who are starving. We have schools that need money. But no, we need to spend money to send these people over to El Salvador to try to get an MS-13 gang member back.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. And let me tell you, the American people aren't falling for it.
No, they're not.
They are not falling for it. So keep it up, Democrats. Keep defacing property. Keep yelling and berating people all the time and not letting them just walk down the street.
Yeah.
Don't tell me that you love this man, because you don't do anything in love. It's not like you see these Democrats or these people and it's like, wow, look at how loving they are. Look at how caring they are.
Right.
No, they're demonic. That's what they are.
Demonic national
all about
convention.
divide and conquer.
Demonic party.
They are.
Right there. Put it on a t-shirt.
Look, they just hate us and they'll use anything to kill us, you know?
That's right, Coach.
But
it's
you
out
know
of control.
what? This is why Eric Adams is running as an independent.
This is why. I mean, Eric Adams is done with the Democrat Party. Hashtag walk away, right? Brandon Straka, hashtag walk away. He's walking away. And you can't blame him. You can't blame him. And honestly, people forget. One of the first walk awayers was Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Donald Trump was a registered Democrat.
Well, he was also a Republican for a long time.
Yeah, but he was a Democrat too. He wasn't a Bush guy.
No,
he was not a Bush guy. He was not part of the machine. So, I mean, listen, people are walking away.
Because they're so irrational that it's getting people, including the mayor of New York, who's a Democrat, disgusted. Why don't we play that video?
Let's show it. Clip 9 here. We got it.
Let me tell you something. I won't have a tequila drink with a gang member. I won't be hanging out with them and hugging them, acting like they are victims. They are not victims. They create victims by their actions.
They create victims by their actions. It's 100% true. It's 100% true, Coach.
Well, I have to tell you, Carlos, I've had it. I've had it. And we need the love.
Yeah.
We need the love. Mm-hmm. Well, there was another big story this week. I don't know if anybody gives a shit. Sorry.
Oh,
I'm trying not to use profanity.
Coach. Settle down over there. Settle down.
I know. I'm sorry. Well, Klaus Schwab resigned on Monday, the same day that the Pope died.
He did. He did. Yep.
The founder and former executive chairman of the World Economic Forum is reportedly being investigated by the organization he started after a whistleblower's letter made a series of lurid allegations against the octogenarian and other family members.
Wow.
Can you believe it?
Really?
Yeah.
Now that's interesting news. That's something you don't hear. I mean, because the news never reports anything interesting. But
they're not going to talk about one of the globalists like stealing all the money.
Yeah.
Well, the alleged financial and ethical misconduct by the longtime globalist leader and his wife, all of which he denies, including alleged use of luxury property and travel, are at the crux of the claims first made public by the Wall Street Journal.
Wow.
And these are the same people that want us to own nothing, while his family, they can't get enough.
No, they can't. They can't get enough.
They can never get enough.
Never enough. Sing it, Prez. Never. No, no,
Gabriel's so mad right now.
No, Gabe's mad. He's fired up. I think we should bring him on. I think he should come on the show.
I don't think it's a good idea.
I think it's a great idea. Let's have him get right in the middle. Let's have him get right in the middle
Gabriel.
here.
Do you want to come on?
We're bringing him on. We're bringing him on. Coming in.
Yeah, I'm gonna
long time. He's long time coming. Playwright Gabe Villa, original writer, original playwright.
All right, we're going to share.
AMDA graduate.
We'll share the microphone.
We're going to share the mic. He's coming on because we need it. We need a voice. We need a voice for the Democrats to let us know the thought process of what's going on. And I think this is going to be great. This is what the viewers want to see here. So let's come on. Welcome to Late Night TV. So, Gabe, you're getting fired up over there in the corner. We're talking about the illegals. We're talking about your boy Kilmar. So what's kind of going through your head as you're listening to this?
Well, I think language could be important here. He wasn't deported. Deportation is a legal process. He was abducted by the U.S. government and sent to a foreign prison and used for slave labor. without any rights. And if they could do that to him, who's stopping them from doing that to anybody that was trying to go through the legal process in this country, working with the courts, trying to get things done? We don't know that he's a gang member. That's what the administration.
We know.
There's no evidence in the courts that he's
Yes, there
actually a
is.
gang member.
Does he has MS-13 tattoos on his body? Does that count
in
as
El
evidence?
Salvador, every young boy has to be tatted with those tattoos in order to be safe and just travel around in El Salvador without being killed on site.
Well, do you know that I heard the reason why he ran from El Salvador
here we go.
and
We got
became an
another mic.
illegal alien here in the United States is because he raped a woman in El Salvador.
Okay.
That's what I heard.
That's probably propaganda from the Trump
No, I
administration.
think that you have propaganda.
Well,
What they try to do is frame these people as violent, frame all of them as murderers, where we don't even know who they're deporting and why.
The El Salvadorian president has
Loves
said
this.
Well, he said
for the labor
that El Salvador, that he is a registered criminal in El Salvador.
Well, he loves everyone probably that is like registered.
Well, that's not
with those
that's
gangs.
not
that's
true.
not true.
In El
That's not true.
Salvador.
That's
not
that's
true.
generalization. And he said that
guy
he's a
is
registered
framing
criminal.
it so that he can have the free labor. We don't even know
Well,
what
hold
they're
on.
doing with
So-
these women. The deportation process.
Well, he's a man, so.
They're not even just deporting them. No, I'm saying what's happening to all the women that they're deporting. We don't even know. Because all the men are going to this prison and being used for labor. The women are just disappearing. This process isn't like a normal deportation. They're taking these people. They're losing all their rights. Their family doesn't even know where they went at all. The only reason that Kilmar's family knew where he was is because they saw him in a photo at the prison. They thought that he just went missing.
No.
You mean
They
the
were
loving
genuinely
wife?
looking.
You mean the loving wife who had an order of protection because he used to beat the crap out of her?
Yeah,
We do
that's
not
true.
know all of the facts because there wasn't
That-
proper
that's
due
straight
process.
fact. That's straight fact.
We don't know. The courts haven't decided anything.
No, we're talking
Order
about.
Courts
protection.
haven't decided
But
anything for his
but the
status.
the courts did issue three
Name
restraining
the
orders.
case. Name
I'm
the
saying
case.
3 restraining orders back in
Show me.
2019, 2020, and
Show me the
2021.
results.
Oh, give me
He had
somebody.
three.
You
Look it up.
show me
On
that
this
he's
show,
not
had
it's
three
getting
important
restraining
that
orders.
people look it up, look things up, and
Yeah,
say
look it up.
actual
It's public
facts.
fact.
Look it up. You'll see
It's
it.
public fact.
You
People
look
need
it
to be
up.
saying
It's
actual
public.
facts.
It's public fact. No, I'm saying
Because
it's public
the fact is the
that
Supreme
the
Court
restraining
themselves,
orders were
which is
there.
a conservative Supreme Court, by the way, ruled unanimously that this deportation was illegal. Therefore, it's not a deportation; it's a government abduction. That is the correct language to be
No,
used.
The foreign policy-
This was an abduction.
the foreign policy
and
of the
they're
United
weaponizing
States.
the trauma of women in this country that have been raped and abused and hit. And they're using that to frame all
But
of
he
these
ac-
Latinos
but
as
that's not
killers,
true.
as gang
That's not
members,
true.
as people
All right, time out,
that
time
should
out.
just
Here
be
we go.
deported.
Let's time out. Let's time
and
out
that's
here.
just the truth.
That's
and
time.
that's
Nobody's accusing Puerto Ricans. Nobody's accusing Dominicans. That's not true.
They're
It's
accusing
We're talking about
everybody,
and
we're
every
talking about
Latino man
with a
MS-13
tattoo
gang
needs to
members.
stay
Do they not
safe
have to own
from
anything
ICE.
that they do? Do they have to not own anything that they do? Taking over a
No,
housing
they should,
projects,
but this needs
killing
to be
over
a
100,000
process
Americans
of
with
we have
fentanyl.
a
You
legal
know, doing
process.
human trafficking into the country.
Yep.
I mean, give me a
We
break.
don't
You
know that
want
he
them
was
to
involved
own
with that.
anything. They
The
do because in
administration paints
2022
it.
they
We
found
don't
him.
because the courts were working with him. The
Oh
courts
my
were trying to
gosh.
get all the information to see if he could be deported or not. Because again, deportation is a legal process. What happened to Kilmar was illegal.
Deportation.
Therefore, it is an abduction.
The deportation of illegal immigrants and the foreign policy of the United States is not dictated by the courts. It has
But
never been
no,
dictated by the
there
courts.
is a process
it's
of
not.
deportation.
No, there's not.
Yes,
not
there is.
not when you
Yeah,
are an
there's
illegal
never been
citizen.
trials to be
Not
deported.
when you are an
The
illegal
Supreme
citizen. Well, now
Court
let me ask
unanimously
you: was there?
decided that
Were
it was
there?
illegal.
Did the courts decide that it was okay when Obama put all those kids in cages back in 2015, 2014?
And now
was
this
that
is
okay?
what we call for the viewers a
Was that
logical
okay?
fallacy.
That's not a logical
love to
fallacy.
use that.
That's
That's
What
not a
they
logical
do
fallacy.
is they
You
weaponize
can't see what the
another
Democrats.
thing that somebody
What the
did, like as if
Democrats
every
like to
president
do.
hasn't put kids in cages. This is a
What the
different
Democrats
issue.
like to
what
do
we're
is
focusing
they
on
like to play both
is
sides of
Kilmar
it. They like to
Garcia.
have their cake and eat it too.
So
Yeah.
let's-
They
if we're
only
talking-
bitch when a Democrat does something that, oh well, you didn't get the court, blah blah blah. Then it's okay. Then it's like, well, no. But then Trump is like, well, I'm going to use my executive powers and we're going to remove the illegals from this country and we're going to take immigration seriously. Then it's like-
illegally. He
then it's
removed them
bad.
illegally, and we have a power of checks and balances.
So was it legal?
We can't
Was it
have
legal when
one
you opened
person
up the border?
being
Was it legal when you opened up the
and
border?
completely-
I know,
Well,
when
coming
Joe
into
Biden
this
Was it
country
legal when you opened up the border?
He didn't
Hold
want to
on, let me
enforce
speak.
the-
Coming into
We
this
let you
country
speak a lot. You're
illegally.
making it
Hold on,
sound
hold
like
on.
a
Coming
No,
into
I wanna
this
hear.
country illegally is a misdemeanor, just so that you know.
It's a federal crime.
It's a
It's
misdemeanor.
not
And you can
misdemeanor.
get
It's a
deported.
federal
Abducted
crime.
and put into a maximum security prison with actual gang members is
He's
not
an
okay.
actual gang member.
We don't know.
He's
The
an
courts
actual
have
gang
not
member.
decided.
He's an actual
What
gang
am I
member.
pretending not to know? What am I pretending not to
It's
know?
called
and
due
that's
process.
the Democrat game.
There is a
what am I
process in
pretending
which we
not to
decide
know?
if he's a gang member
no,
or not.
he is a gang
No,
member.
he's
he was
definitely
involved
a
in
gang
human
member.
trafficking. He was supposed to be deported, and they hang on to everything that they can because you have a bunch of sick
We
people
don't know
in this
that
country
he was involved in human
who want to have
trafficking.
a bunch of illegals here.
We don't know
and
that
they
he was a
care
gang
about
member.
the
That is
people in this
misinformation.
country.
No, when
no,
he- if
you're
he-
the
that
one
is
who has
conservative
So
misinformation.
the courts have said that if he came back, they would vote in favor of deporting him. So do you just want him to come
We
back
do
so
not
we get
know
to
that
send them
because he
back?
did not have a court case or a actual process. That is again conservative propaganda.
Well, the Trump administration won multiple cases saying that they
The
have
Trump
the rights to
administration
actually move it.
lost a major case of the 9-0 Supreme Court saying that he should have had an actual due process and they should facilitate him coming back into
you don't
the
get
country.
due process though when you're not a
You do get
citizen.
due process
You're not a
as
citizen.
somebody that's seeking
You're not.
asylum.
You're not.
You
He's
do.
not
You're
seeking
here
asylum.
illegally.
He's
You're
not
not
seeking
covered by our
asylum.
He was
Constitution.
trying to
El
seek
Salvador,
asylum.
El Salvador is not one of the
Kilmar
listed countries that are allowed to seek
Garcia
asylum.
was
El
trying to
Salvador was
seek
not one of the
asylum.
countries listed in order. You had to be on a specific list and come
There
from
was a
specific
process
countries
in which he was
in order
trying
to claim
to seek
asylum.
asylum.
And
And
he
El
didn't get
Salvador
that process.
is
He
one of
never
those
got that. No,
countries
it's
that
not.
you can't
He never
get
got that
asylum
process.
from.
He is an illegal immigrant. You don't get to have American laws and keep American rights as an illegal immigrant. You are illegal.
He was
you
trying
don't get
to
the
seek
same rights as
asylum and
you
was
and me.
going through the court
And that's
process.
it. You're
You
out.
don't have
Thus
constitution.
making him
How many years does it
documented
take? How
with
many years
papers.
does it take to go through
He
the court
had
process?
a court date
For asylum.
coming
For
up,
asylum.
and he was
never
abducted by the
tried-
government
Gabe,
and put
he's
in a
been in
maximum
here.
security prison, not
No,
unlike how
he's
Jews
been
were
here for
abducted and
years.
put in Auschwitz
He's
in Poland.
been here for
What?
years.
Guilty.
This El
He's been
Salvador
here for
prison
years.
to Poland is just like what the Nazis did.
Guilty.
It's not true. It's
Guilty.
Auschwitz
Goodbye.
has been replaced by
please,
the El
Jews
Salvador
were running
prison.
for their lives from the Nazis. If
Just
Trump
as
was a
many
Nazi, what are you
Latinos
doing here
have
in
been
this
running
country?
from their
Listen,
lives,
goodbye.
there has been
Adios,
several
amigo.
ICE
Adios, amigo.
ICE sightings.
Adios,
Illegals
amigo.
have been running for their
That's what
lives.
I
Let's
say.
specify.
You're
Not
here
Latinos.
illegally.
Illegals have been running for their
Get
lives.
your news from valid
Illegals
sources.
have
This
been
is a
running for their
comedy
lives.
podcast, if nothing else.
All right,
That's
goodbye. We're losing
insulting.
viewers
That's
because
insulting
of you.
to come on the
that's
show.
what they have
It's
to do. That's what they always
We
have
invited
to do.
you
They
on.
have to insult
thought
you.
it was a good bit. I thought it was a good, entertaining, and you had
No,
to
but
had
that's
to make
what they
it an
always do.
insult.
They have to insult you. They have to insult you. And I say, adios, amigo. You're in the country illegally. I can't wait to see you go.
Yeah.
Okay? You want to come in legally. You want to respect our laws. You want to be a part of the solution, not part of the problem. I am more than willing to welcome you into our country.
Right.
Okay? But there are a lot of people who spend a lot of money, a lot of time, and a lot of effort coming into the country legally.
Yeah.
And then you have these people just skipping the line and just ruining our country in the process. Bringing in drugs, trafficking humans. And then when it's time for them to go, they say, oh, I'm afraid I might get killed by a rival gang.
Right.
Well, like Jesus said, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. You're going to be in a gang, chances are you might get killed by another gang.
I mean,
Okay?
and at what point do you tell somebody, hey, man, you know, sometimes you got to fight for your own country and make a difference in
Be
your
the
own
change
country,
you
huh?
want to see.
Like the United States, we had a revolution.
Yeah.
And we fought for this country. We fought for this country many times. And at some point, you got to say, hey, you know, maybe you got to clean up your own streets, brother.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know, maybe you got to do it yourself. We can't do it for you. We tried to do it for you. You got to do it. You got to do it. So, you know, listen, I like the banter. I enjoy the little political debates. So it's a shame that our guest got so offended by coming on our show. So
that's always the way it is. You're always going to get insulted because rather than dealing with feelings, it's always about feelings. You have to deal with facts. If somebody comes in the country illegally, you have to acknowledge, I'm probably going to get deported. What are you pretending not to know? You came in the country illegally.
Right.
Okay? So that's just the way it is. And the guy was not a pillar of the community. Believe me, he wasn't.
Community.
Okay?
Well, you know, if ICE didn't come and get him, I mean, perhaps some alligators would have. I mean, you know, they were out roaming the streets, you know, checking people's houses, making sure illegal members weren't in there. I think we got to show this video here.
Okay.
Let's go clip 13. Ringing the bell.
That looks just like the bench in front of our house.
They're checking out, making sure people are taking care of their properties. Enforcing HOA rules. We need them in your HOA, coach. We need them to get out there and enforce, HOA rules for you.
Excuse me, you're breaking some of the HOA rules.
Excuse me, sir. Can you please rake your leaves? Sorry, your property looks like shit. Can you cut down that tree, sir? God damn it.
It's just, I don't know. That we really have to work on all the division that's going on in this country. And you know what it is? Who can really trust the government when the government has been lying for so many years?
Yeah.
Do you know now that the UK is considering a drastic strategy to combat climate change?
The UK.
And you know what it is?
United Kingdom.
The United Kingdom.
Very warm place.
They're reducing the amount of sunshine.
Reducing the amount of sunshine.
Yes. British scientists supported by the government funding are researching solar geoengineering, a contentious technique that lowers incoming solar energy by spraying, blocking the sun with chemicals.
That's unbelievable.
You know what that is?
What is that, coach?
That's what I keep saying it is all the time.
Cloud seeding? Are they seeding the clouds?
Absolutely, the chemtrails.
Are they seeding the clouds?
When I talk about the chemtrails,
I think we got to show some of these
time.
chemtrails. Let's show what the clouds are looking like in the UK right about now. Clip 11 here.
I swear I've seen that in the U.S. too.
Seen in the U.S.
I've seen it in the U.S. too, and I've seen it in the water too. I'm not kidding you.
And let's show the article here that you're referring to when we were talking about it. Let's show clip 10 because that's the actual article from the Telegraph is the news publication in Britain that published
experiments to dim the sun will be approved within weeks. Okay. I mean, this is dangerous.
Yeah.
It's going to be less vitamin D, disrupted crops. I mean, we don't even crops, not cops. Disrupted crops, not cops.
Cox? Katy Perry? Cock?
But I mean, Great Britain should not be playing God with the atmosphere. I'm sorry.
I agree with you. But I mean, it's just, listen, it's crazy town. It's
well,
crazy
you know
town.
what it is that they call us conspiracy theorists. Like we've had all this wackadoo weather everywhere that you look, and they try to say that it's all in our heads.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I mean, and you see it all the time. I mean, look at the massive storm uptick. We were talking about it during last hurricane season when they were just clouding the seeds in the Gulf of America, and they were making things a little crazy.
Well,
and we were getting all those hurricanes. Remember
look
that?
what they did in Dubai.
Yeah.
Right?
And they made a flood.
They had
we
all
showed
that major flooding. Remember all the major flooding we saw all over Europe? It's just that people know that this is going on, and now they're like, okay, we're going to have to try to finally admit it and say that we're just starting to do it now.
We don't know how to do it. We're just going to try.
They've been doing it. They have been doing it. Everybody knows that there's geoengineering going on.
So, like, what is that? They're going to dim the sun. What are they going to, they have like a light switch and they're going to pull the thing down? Like, how does that work?
They're making cloud cover.
Yeah, but clouds all the time? Like, what does that mean? Carlos, not Katy Perry. I'm referring to last week's episode where she was flying in a dick. Okay, not that she would get my dick.
Would you stop the spaceship?
We're talking about the spaceship. She was flying in an actual cock last week, but no, I mean like that's just like so it's just gonna be overcast in the United Kingdom all the time. It's gonna be some miserable people.
And they say it's because they're trying to prevent climate change, but they're actually changing the climate.
Right. Yeah. But
but that's a globalist agenda for you.
There it is. It's right there, Coach. And somewhere where it's a very, very big change in the climate right now is in New Jersey.
Well, why are there wildfires in New Jersey when it's wet and cold? It's not dry and hot. This isn't Los Angeles.
Wet and cold, Coach.
I mean, they're messing with our weather probably in New Jersey too.
Yeah.
Let's show.
You want to show some of these clips?
Yeah.
Let's go clip 17 of what's
they're actually evacuating in Ocean County, New Jersey.
Yeah, let's take a look at what's going on in New Jersey right now. Clip 17.
That's on the Garden State Parkway, right? The Garden
State Parkway, yeah.
Look at that. Look at that. That's New Jersey. This isn't California. There are no wildfires like that in New Jersey. And I wonder if Cory Booker's there helping out.
You think he's on the scene?
Oh, you think he's helping? I doubt it. I'm sure he's worried about some displaced illegal.
Yeah, he's probably getting on a plane to El Salvador from Newark right now. He's going to take Avelo Airlines, shout out Connecticut. Did you see that they had a big protest on the tarmac at Tweed Airport?
I saw that.
He had a huge protest. They want to drive away another business in that state because that state's thriving financially with all these businesses that they're like, we're going to drive these businesses away. that actually still want to do business in our state. But yeah, I mean, in New Jersey, it's shocking. Like it really is not the climate to have, you know, wildfires like this, and they've been particularly rainy and very, you know, they're not a dry area, so it's shocking that something like this is going on there. And that they haven't been able to contain it. Well, I think they actually today they said that they were able to contain it a little bit.
Well, they had to evacuate over 3,000 people, like from a senior citizen complex.
Yeah.
And,
they didn't let the senior citizens die like they did in COVID when they just killed them off.
That would be Cuomo.
That was Cuomo.
If they were in New York, they probably would have just let them burn up.
That's what they would do.
Well, speaking of Cuomo, did you see that the official COVID.gov website was updated?
I did see that.
Well, it's official. The COVID was formed and it originated from a Chinese lab link.
Whoa,
remember
Coach.
how they were always like, pandemic, you people are a bunch of conspiracy theorists. It was from a bat in the wet market, you idiots. And Dr. Fauci, all he did was try to cover it up.
Yep.
Well, more transparency from the Donald Trump administration.
Yep.
Transparency. And guess what? It's on the website.
And it's not from, you know, somebody having sex with a pangolin with Mickey Mouse?
No. So go to the COVID.gov website.
Go to the COVID.gov website to see the truth. It's not the pangolin.
No. And you know what? That's why the media is so upset that the American people don't trust them anymore. Because for years, they were trying to con us into thinking that it came from a bat in the wet market.
Right. They did. They drove that home for at least 2.5, 3 years. They were like, guys, it's from a bat. It's from a bat. It's from a bat. It's just total bullshit. Everybody knows what really happened with COVID and why COVID happened. You know, the globalists and the world leaders were like, oh, God, we got to get rid of Trump. The Americans are becoming isolationists. The Americans are becoming independent. We have to get rid of him. We have to get rid of him. How are we going to do it? How are we going to do it? We're going to steal the election by using mail-in ballots, keeping everybody locked in at home. Well, that's what happened. And Gabe wrote a whole play about it. Our special guest about the detriments of COVID.
Our special guest is so mad. Well, you know what? All I know is that he listens to the mainstream media, which lies a lot. So he really thinks that this guy's a victim.
Yes.
And no matter what the president says, they're not going to report it.
Yeah.
They're not going to report the real court cases. They're not going to report the real history of this guy. He didn't even see the pictures with him and the senator. When he goes, that guy, he's just thrown into jail. I'm like, there's pictures with him eating with the senator. Show that. We did show it. We actually showed it on the show, if you were paying attention.
We did show it.
We actually did show it. Yeah. So this is what I'm going through. He was like, show me. And we actually did show it earlier. So there's nothing we could do with the liberals. All we have to do is just keep trying to love them.
We have to keep trying to love them.
We have to love our neighbor. We have to love our children. We have to try to just keep showing them the truth. And they're going to get mad at us, but don't give up on the people that you love. And don't be like them and yell and scream and destroy their property and threaten to beat them up when you see them in the streets.
Yes. Don't do that. Don't do that, Coach. Well, you know, speaking about the Trump administration, Pete Hegseth in hot water again. What'd you think about that? They're trying to go after him again. They just don't like that guy.
Well, that's because he doesn't want to start a war with Iran, if you want my honest opinion.
Oh, you think that's what it comes
down to? Yeah, because the
globalists
globalists are trying to ruin it. I mean, they were in charge of the military for a long time.
Yep.
And they're trying to work with Israel to start a war in Iran.
Yeah.
They really are. And Pete Hegseth is not about that.
Right. We're not about to, we don't want to start wars.
No. He actually just welcomed 8,700 service members back who wouldn't take the COVID vaccine.
Yes.
They're back in the military.
That's right.
So I'm happy to see that, you know?
Yeah, it's great. It's great. We're bringing people back. America's coming back. So, Coach, another exciting episode. I had a couple guests here. I thought it was a very exciting episode. Guys, if you like the episode, be sure to hit that like button, guys. Make sure if you guys are watching on YouTube, make sure you're smashing that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're watching on Rumble, make sure you please follow. Make sure you guys are following. Make sure you guys are liking. Comment down below. Make sure we want to hear what you guys are thinking. Facebook, guys, make sure you're liking. Make sure you're sharing. We appreciate you guys. Facebook was bumping last week. We got a lot of views on our last episode. So appreciate you all watching on Facebook. You know, enjoy this Easter season. We're going into the 40 days of Easter.
We have to enjoy season.
We have to.
You know, like Easter is just like one of the best times of year.
Yeah.
You get to eat candy.
Eat good, drink all the time. It was great. I mean, listen, it's the best time after the grind of the Lenten season and the fasting and everything like that. Now you get to enjoy. get to enjoy the fruits of your labor. So, guys, appreciate you all who were tuning in tonight. We had a great live audience, great crew. The chat was buzzing. Shout out Natasha. Shout out Matt Judge. Shout out Presley Villa. Who else we got in the chat here? I saw you.
Cordell.
We had Cordell in the chat. I saw you, Deborah Wilson. Shout out Bill Benny for watching. We appreciate you guys. Everybody who was watching tonight, we appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for hanging out and supporting with us, guys. Make sure you're liking, make sure you're subscribing, make sure you're sharing. We'll see you guys here again, same time, same place next week, next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern time, 7 p.m. Central, YouTube, Facebook, and Rumble. Make sure you guys are following us there. Make sure you guys go and like all our social media platforms. Go follow Instagram, Twitter. We're on TikTok. We're on Truth Social. We're everywhere. We're everywhere. Make sure you guys are going and following the platforms there. We really appreciate it. And we'll see you guys back again next week. Same time, same place. Thank you guys. Appreciate you. Have a great night.